All right, so lesson one, we talked about what is a candlestick and how to read it properly, the high, the low, and we saw that a candlestick gives us a lot of information. So looking at a candlestick chart can be advantageous. Now we want to talk about support and resistance. I like to call them just significant levels. Um, but when we say support, it's going to be a price range where the stock is deemed undervalued. So there's an increase in demand. Okay. You can identify it with the bottom of a bunch of candlesticks touching that area. So if I draw a line here, you can see that one, two, three candlesticks, the bottom of it touched this area each time. We kind of bounced upwards from there. Let me go into a more clean chart that doesn't have so many indicators and whatnot, all that boring, unimportant stuff. So, so now resistance will be the opposite. Resistance will be the opposite of support. It'll be an area where, um, the stock is deemed undervalued, overvalued. Sorry, and there will be more sellers. So, I could draw a little area of support. I mean resistance. I like to just call them significant levels, but I could draw one kind of right here. Even I could draw an angular resistance. It doesn't always have to be a horizontal line. So we touched it here, couldn't quite get through it. Tried to come up, came near it, couldn't quite get through. Over here, touched it, couldn't get through. So the reason that I like to call it a significant level as opposed to naming it support, naming it resistance. Okay. Now you saw I just drew a line on the top of this candle here because we touched it, came down, and I drew it sideways. And I drew one here, we touched it and came down. So I can even do another one right here. Okay. So it's a significant level because once we're through it, so this line right here, which we rejected on November 20th, 2000, in that week and the week after it, for those 2 weeks, we rejected at that level. We revisited this level, a whole year later, December of 2001. So from December 2000 or November all the way to December 2001. So a year later, we revisit that level, reject a little bit, trying to continue on this uptrend, broke above it, created this new resistance, new high, new resistance, I call it, but I say significant level. Okay. Came back down, tested this breakout level, which previously was a resistance. We broke through it, tested it, it held as support. So that's why I call it significant level, because once you're above it and you're coming towards it from above, you're coming down, you touch it, and you bounce up. So this is now a support. But if you're under it, you're coming, you touch it, and you bounce down, you say, oh, this is resistance. So old resistance will become new support, and you'll see that as a trend. So here we created this high, right? Came back, struggled over here. Even this one, which served as support right here, this $50 level, served as resistance all through this, 2-month period right here, from July 2002 until September 2002. So, and if you're wondering where am I getting the date from, in this upper left corner it says D, that's date, and again it's telling you about the candle where my cursor is on. It's telling you the D is for date, O is open, H is high, L is low, C is close. Okay, so that's how I'm saying this is a 2-month period. Also, this is the weekly chart for 20 years. So I'm looking at the 20-year chart of FedEx. Okay, and we're doing this just to kind of get the idea of what is a support, what is a resistance, and how can this be beneficial to know? How can this information, be beneficial? You'll see this level here, right? Became relevant again when we got back in that range. So these are historical